Hello and welcome to JRock's Pop Culture Revolution. This is episode number 40, and we got my good friend, writer, director Ben Hicks. And Ben, today it's going to be a real fun episode. We're going to talk about one of my all-time favorite films and yours, which is this Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, I'll let you start. What's so memorable about this film for you?
God, what ain't memorable? I mean, every scene was hilarious. I mean, from them stealing the Porsche to that one guy in the classroom just screaming Bueller for like 4 or 5 times till somebody stopped him. I just love that movie.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because I was reading Matthew Broderick at the time. Okay, he's playing a teenager, and he was 21 years
Mhm.
old, a grown man, but he's playing a teenager. Um,
Yeah.
in casting any of your films that you've worked on over years, have you ever casted people like who were much older but in younger parts?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to. I mean, sometimes the older people have got the maturity to be able to, play those characters. Some people that are still young, they're still trying to develop,
Yeah.
acting and stuff like that.
What's funny as far as the characters, Ferris Bueller, I would dare say this is Matthew Broderick's most memorable role of all the movies he's ever done. This is what he's most
Oh
proud
yeah.
of, and I don't know how he feels about that, but I think it's quite an iconic character, especially when you consider it didn't have any sequels or anything, just the one movie. It still stands out all these years later.
Yeah, if you think about it, from if I'm getting my knowledge correctly, he was doing a movie called Biloxi Blues,
Okay.
and his co-star in that movie, Ferris Bueller, they were both in it, and I think he got him to be in that with him. So that's kind of cool how they met and
Yeah.
just started another movie together.
In fact, one of the things about Ferris Bueller, I don't know if it's fair to say he's the class clown, but this is a movie where he pretends to be sick. He's ditching school just for one day, but it's apparently his school. There's like the legend of Ferris, if you will. I mean, he's just the coolest kid. All the other kids want to hang out with him, and when they think he's sick, everybody's raising money for him except for his own sister. Yeah,
Oh, she hates him.
yeah.
I mean, he's highly intelligent. I mean, he could probably sit out the rest of the school year with the way he's doing things.
Yeah, I mean, and even in 1986 when this movie comes out, it really predates computers. I mean, they had computers back then, but you remember they were old kind of box style computers and the green screens and stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
Ferris Bueller was really way ahead of his time.
Oh God, yes. I mean, just you see like the way he's using technology, like he's had these sound effects on his little keyboard. I mean, it's just like how do you do that?
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Ben, but when I go see movies, probably my favorite type of movie to go see is a comedy because I just love to laugh, and have a good time in the theater. But and that's what this was. I was laughing all the way,
Yeah.
um, through it. Just one gag after the other. I mean, talk about the characters too. Okay, Ed Rooney, the kind of defeated principal that is always getting beaten by Ferris Bueller. He's always trying to beat Ferris Bueller, but Ferris always seems to one up him.
Yeah. One of the funniest parts is he was in that bar and he's he thought he caught Ferris Bueller. It turned out to be a woman. She like spit stuff on him. And then if you look up at the TV, Ferris is at a baseball game and they're zooming the camera cheering him on, like, dude, he's right there.
Yeah,
It's so good.
yeah, yeah. I love the scene at the beginning where Cameron, his friend, is pretending to be the father of Ferris's girlfriend, and then the principal's like, because he's thinking it's Ferris Bueller, and he's like, okay, you're saying that your mother died. I need a dead corpse or something, and then the secretary comes in and is like, Ferris Bueller's on the line. And he's like, oh shit.
Yeah. The look on his face, his heart dropped into his stomach. You can just see it.
I mean, and it's funny. The one character of the principal, he is defeated all throughout the film. By the
Mhm.
end of as the film is ending and credits are rolling, he looks so torn up. His car's been towed. The dog shredded his clothes.
His wallet's gone.
His wallet is gone. And they're like, Mr. Rooney, you want to get on the bus?
And if you think about that ending, if you watch, he looks down at this guy's notebook. It says "Save Ferris." I always like to think if you watch the bus, how it's rattling. I think he's choking that guy,
Yeah, yeah.
trying to kill him. Like he's going to get his revenge one way or the other.
And then it's funny. I was reading some fun facts about the movie. The ones that played the parents, they met doing that movie, and they actually married in real life.
Really? I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I was
amazing.
doing the research for this. I just found that out. But again, Ferris Bueller, he's smart, he's witty, and like you can see why his sister would not like him because he's the one kid that gets away with everything, and she gets away with nothing.
I'll tell you what, though, I will give her this. There's nobody breaking in on her because I've never seen a woman kick somebody in the face 3 times in a row. And before he hits the ground, she's already upstairs with the door closed and locked.
Yeah,
I thought that was amazing.
yeah, yeah. And then the parade, where he's singing "Twist and Shout." Apparently,
Yes.
that was an iconic scene, of course. And what's funny about
Hmm.
it is there was a real parade going on at the time, and the
Yeah.
director John Hughes is like, you know what, we're just going to roll with this. And and there were people that were extras in the film, but some of those people, like the window washer, they were actually innocent bystanders, knew nothing about the movie was being filmed. They just
Yeah.
happened to appear in the film.
My favorite one is the guy, he's hanging up there and he
Yeah.
just twisted in the wind. I thought, oh, that's pretty
Yeah, and
good.
even as the parade is going on, Ferris is singing "Twist and Shout." He's a main attraction, and
Yeah.
his dad is rocking out, and he's like his office is like to the point where you can see that he just somehow misses noticing it's his son, who's supposed to be
Yeah.
homesick.
How's this guy not in the newspaper after something like that?
Yeah,
You figure he doesn't even like he doesn't care if he gets caught, at
yeah.
this
I mean,
point.
it's kind of he's seeing if he can get away with it. I mean, even
Yeah.
the scene where he's running, racing to get home, going through all those different yards, getting in all those different kind of predicaments, but he makes it
Yeah.
just in time.
Oh, when he runs through that house, dinner's ready. It's like, I mean, these people, this is your neighborhood, dude. They're gonna know who you are.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's Ferris. Hey, Ferris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then talk about the character of his so-called best friend Cameron. Now it's interesting because I don't know if they're really friends or like because there's the one scene at the beginning where Ferris is explaining to the audience that he's ditching school and he's got to outsmart his parents and all the things he's doing to do that. And he's
Yeah.
like, Cameron's staying home too, my best friend. Oh, I kind of need him because he's got a car and I don't.
Pretty much that's what he's using him for.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'll tell you something, Cameron, I identify with him as like he was in the car and he keeps debating. He'll keep calling me and he starts it up, gets out, starts jumping. I'm like, dude, I feel that.
yeah. And the scene, and then all throughout the movie, we never get to see what Cameron's father is like. I would have liked to seen kind of at
Oh
least one
God.
scene where they interact. Because at one point he tells Ferris, "No, Ferris, no, we're not taking his Ferrari. My father loves that Ferrari more than he loves me."
He's like he wipes it with a diaper.
Yeah,
But when he says, when my dad gets home, we're gonna have a little chat about you putting the Porsche through the garage window.
yeah,
I would hate to see that talk.
yeah. And then that's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie where Cameron just kind of loses it, and Ferris can't really believe what he's seeing. He's like, "I've had it with him, Ferris. I've had it. He loves his car more than he loves me. He just beats up
You're
the
like,
car.
who do you love? He's kicking the
Father is
dude.
dead now." Ferris says, "I'm like, the car's dead."
You killed the car.
The car. There you go.
And you think about the all-star cast in that. I mean, even Ferris's girlfriend, she's an amazing actress. She's done some things, and it was a good formula. It really
Let
was.
me ask you, the director, because John Hughes was an amazing director. He has since passed on. This, of
Yes.
course, along with many of his other films, is what he's remembered for. One of his most iconic films, and we kind of talked about so many reasons already why. But one of the things John Hughes accomplished with this is where Ferris Bueller kind of breaks the fourth wall, if you will, where uh,
Yes.
throughout the film and at the ending, he comes out and he's telling people like what he's doing. Like at the very end, he says something to the effect of, "You're still here? Go home. The
It's
movie's
over.
over." I understand it does become more of a mainstream thing now since this film, where a lot of the superhero Marvel movies, they'll tell you, hey, wait after the end of the credits. There's going to be a little sneak preview for the next film or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I kind of thought they would be a sequel because the way they set it up. I mean, like you think about it, he's the original Deadpool breaking the fourth wall. That was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, and I was reading the reason they didn't is John Hughes and Matthew Broderick both kind of agreed that this film, which I guess it's safe to say, kind of like serves at a certain point in time. I think what they could have done is maybe like years later, um, after they've graduated, maybe 10th year, your 10th year reunion or something, when you go back to your,
Yeah,
yeah, we're all getting back together and see how their lives have all changed.
yeah. I mean, I would have John Hughes. He would have to have done it because John Hughes knew how to take family movies and put this awesome twist on them and add a little seriousness, but he would put all kinds of the type of comedy we all understand and know. That's what I loved about his movies.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. He was a special kind of
Yes.
director.
He was.
Um, that's why like 16 Candles, all those movies really kind of. Even I think he did Uncle Buck. I love that.
Oh God. I love Uncle Buck. It was so good. And Home Alone, I mean, you think that he kind of used that same house a lot. If you
Yeah.
think about it, if you watch his movies.
And what's interesting is he was a writer for all his films too. Like it said, he wrote the script for this like in 1 week, if you can believe that.
I mean, that's just talent. I mean, he shows he had a passion for it and he could get it done.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
In fact, he was in a hurry to get it done because apparently, um, back in 1985, that's where the first writers' strike was about to happen, and
Yes. Yep.
they're like, "We got to get this done before anyone goes on strike."
Because I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of a smart move in his point. But because it would be a while, then possibly it never been made. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Um, and the one that played the secretary, I think her name was Edie. I forget what her, but she was the one that was on the Hogan Family, played the nosy neighbor, Mrs. Poole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She played in Planes, Trains, Automobiles as that annoying woman that was,
yeah.
the renting the cars, and she did that so good.
And, in fact, playing the principal, Mr. Rooney's secretary, she had a lot of great one-liners in this movie where
Yes. Oh
she told
God.
him, like, she told Mr. Rooney, well, Ed, all the kids, they just love Ferris Bueller. They say he's the coolest dude.
Real cool dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Even the dweebs and the nerds like him.
She had no filter. Yeah,
And,
yeah.
yeah, so, and then Cameron too. Just I don't know if he was bipolar or what, but his moves went from high to low.
I want to honestly tell you, Cameron, uh, that was perfect casting on that because he was perfect for that role. It's just like he's the quirky best friend, and like he brought a lot of jokes
Yeah.
to that by his actions. It
Well,
was so
even
good.
the swimming pool scene where
Yeah.
down and then Ferris jumps in to save him, and then he like starts cracking up laughing. He's like, "What?
He goes,
Skill, you're my hero."
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. Just like- he was scared out of his mind.
Classic film. I watched it again last night just to kind of prep myself for this.
Yeah.
And I was cracking up, and I knew like okay, this is what's going to happen next, and yeah, there's some real memorable scene. Even the scene like at the restaurant where they almost get caught by his dad going in there for a business meeting, and somehow again, dad doesn't quite catch him. Dad's getting in the car. They're getting in the taxi. They're that close to getting caught. But while they're in there, there are a couple funny scenes in the restaurant where they can't get in, and then he's pretending to be the sausage king of
So just King of Chicago.
Chicago, and then
Yeah.
they feel like
Yeah, I
they
know, right?
makes a scene, and so they let him in.
You know what? But you know what part nobody talks about, and I think it's one of the top hilarious parts is those two guys that get in that Porsche
That's
and
why
they
you get
just
yeah,
race it
yeah.
all
And
around
they're racing all
Chicago.
over, and then they get a tip and everything at the end.
And you hear the Star Wars music playing, and they're like making this big jump. I'm like, these guys are awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And again, not realizing that at the same time that you're watching the film, for the first time, but Yeah, I think it's pretty iconic that they just happened to play that Star Wars music, you know.
It's perfect. They couldn't have played anything better.
Yeah, and then there's a one scene where apparently when Matthew Broderick was cast into Ferris Bueller, um, they asked him if he had any experience playing a clarinet, and he said something to the effect that he lied and said he did, but they found out he really couldn't play it, and
Oh
then
God.
the famous line in there where he says, "Not one lesson."
I go, he said, I go, only have one lesson. Keeps going. So,
we can, and then Ben Stein is another. He went on to become a pretty famous comedian. He's the guy that is giving the economics lecture where the teacher, and you could tell that the class is bored. And
oh yeah.
apparently, Ben Stein, before he was a comedian, he was an economics teacher. And
He didn't need acting. He was rich. I mean,
John Hughes knew this about him and said, "You know what? I'm not going to script your part since you already know about economics. I want you to just get up in front of the class and give a lesson." And so that's why that was so real. And then after this film, Ben Stiller, he broke out in a big way as a comedian because I remember seeing him on like Charles in Charge and a couple other things, you know.
yeah. He's done so many things. I mean, you can always catch him in all these like a lot of those John Hughes movies. He just pops up. You know, he has like an epic little
One of those
scene.
guys like Eugene Levy that kind of got this dry humor, kind of, you
Yeah.
know, puts everybody to
And
sleep, but yeah, you can't help but laugh at what
yeah,
they're doing.
you can tell like you really don't want to take his class because I mean time is just going to stand still because it's so boring.
Yeah. And then the secretary, getting back to her, I was reading that you notice how she wore a pencil in her hair. Apparently,
Yeah.
when John Hughes met her, the joke was, "I wonder how many pencils you can put in your hair without it falling out." And so he actually filmed her doing that. And so they had her do like one, two, three, and then once she put the fourth one in, it fell out.
Well, you got to give her credit for trying.
And let's see. It said that Matthew Broderick was terrified of the dance scene and in the parade and everything. But looking at that, like he comes across as very, but that's I guess part of Ferris's character. He comes
Yeah.
across as very confident, like he's the leading man, he's in command. But apparently, he was very nervous during that scene.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch actors how they look so comfortable in scenes, and you find out they're feeling so awkward as soon as they yell "cut." I mean, it's one of those things.
Yeah, and then it said that John Hughes often in his films allowed the actors to just kind of ad lib and make things up because he found oftentimes that was where they get some of the best material from.
Yeah, it was comedy gold on some of that stuff. Yeah, it was good. Just let them go with it.
Like I did an episode a couple of weeks ago on Mrs. Doubtfire, and it was saying Christopher Columbus, the director on that, he just let Robin Williams kind of go off, and because he was really famous for improvisation and ad libbing, and he said we got so much extra footage, we got enough extra footage that we didn't use in the film. We're thinking about one day releasing a documentary of this stuff, but he said, yeah, a lot of times you just let these actors ad lib, it's gold.
Yeah, I would tell Robin Williams, just do what you want.
Yeah.
It's going to be good no matter what.
In fact, Robin Williams, when he first came, really appearing on that first episode of Happy Days, he was on as Mork from Mork. That's what launched him.
Yeah.
And I've heard many of the actors on Happy Days over years talking about the fact, and Gary Marshall, the director, that again, they just allowed Rob, they seen that kind of he just took command of a stage. He basically, all that Orkin talk, he just kind of came up with it. He was saying and doing and let it rip.
And and to speak about Robin, he was up for the Joker before Jack Nicholson. Can you imagine how that would have turned out with him as Joker?
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And Jack Nicholson, all these years later, he's not doing. I understand that he's suffering from Alzheimer's. That's why you don't see him in any more
Yeah.
movies. But the Joker, I must say, has become one of his most iconic roles ever.
He actually wanted to do a sequel because he actually said, "I love that character because I kind of do what I want." With it.
As far as talking about critics, one of my all-time favorite critics was the dynamic duo of Siskel and Ebert. I mean, they were critics back in the day.
Oh yeah.
These two guys, they had a love-hate thing where they're constantly bickering, but at the end of the day, they loved each other.
You would think, well, man, they really hate each other.
But Roger Ebert gave Ferris Bueller 3 out of 4 stars, so that's how much he liked it.
Wow.
And said Roger Ebert praised the movies charm in Matthew Broderick's performance, writing that Ferris is the kind of kid who could get away with anything. Um, he has admired the film's energy and noted that it wasn't trying to be realistic. It was fantasy about youth and freedom. And again, that's one of the things I love about going to see a comedy movie is a lot of times, seeing stuff that maybe it couldn't really happen, but it doesn't matter. We're watching a movie, so we allow ourselves to believe it.
It's funny that when he started talking about the rules of how to get out of school, there is an actual thing that I read that kids actually tried to the clammy hands.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
actually tried to mimic and try to get out of stuff with the clammy hands, like lick your palms. I'm just like,
Yeah.
dude, this guy's like teaching people.
Yeah. And as far as Gene Siskel, the other critic I was talking about, said Gene Siskel even loved the movie more than Roger Ebert. He thought it was one of the funniest movies of the year, and praised John Hughes for understanding teenagers better than almost any other filmmaker. And if you think about that, I don't think there's been any other filmmaker who really kind of understood the teenage mind.
Exactly. I mean, because to go to Cameron, him and
Yeah,
his father have this hard relationship. There's a lot of people who grew up with not getting along with the father, not getting along with the parents, misunderstood. I mean, he knew that.
yeah,
I mean, you can relate to it in some form.
yeah, yeah. And getting back to Cameron and Ferris as friends, um, Ferris comes across as this cool, overconfident kid, while Cameron is, he's struggling, like you said, with his relationship with his father. He's borderline bipolar.
Oh
He's
yeah.
got he's got issues. He's not quite as confident as Ferris, but hanging out with Ferris,
Mhm.
Ferris has, I think, a positive, role in encouraging him. He pushes him almost a little to try harder, to go the extra
Yeah.
mile. Yeah,
And there's a big detail with Cameron. A lot of people misunderstood. It's like at the end, he says, "I could have stopped you from taking the car out. It is possible to stop Ferris Bueller."
yeah, yeah,
He he pretty much he wanted to do it in the end. If you
yeah.
think about it,
He was
because he
struggling
could have
all
stopped
through the
it.
film, but that's why, like, when he killed the car, so to speak, it's almost like a release for him. He's like, oh, Ferris, thank you. I feel so much better.
But I would hate to see that
Oh,
conversation when his dad got home. But I don't know how that would have went.
I was predict that Cameron would have lost it on his dad. Go ahead, call him, please. Do what you want. No, no, son. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I could just see Karen just standing there in the garage as he gets home, just like it's like here it goes.
And then it's funny, we hear all about the dad, but you don't really hear about the mom. So I would
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
like to heard some description about probably his mom was a little mousy
Well,
thing, but just kind of took the dad's anger.
well. First, described his inside his home. It's very cold, and you're not allowed to touch anything. It's like, oh, sounds like a graveyard or something. Like so cold. Yeah.
Whereas you could see why it's almost kind of like it reminds me of watching an episode of
Mhm.
Happy Days, how everybody loved the Cunningham family, and and like Richie and Joni were the perfect kids, and they loved their mom and dad, and all the other kids would came and hang out with the Cunninghams, almost because like you always heard Potsy talking about, oh, my father did this to me, my father is always mistreating me, and
Yeah.
wanting to hang out with Mr. C, like wishes Mr. C was his dad almost.
Yeah, I know. It's how backward that is. It's so good.
We're laughing here because it's funny how one movie or one classic TV show like Happy Days could have that kind of effect on our lives. You know,
Yeah.
totally a different type of show, but I remember, for example, Good Times when they killed off the father, James Evans. I
That
was
shocked me. Oh
that was
God.
the first time on TV they ever killed a character like that off. And I remember as a kid, of course,
Mhm.
it's a fictional family on TV. As a kid, though, I really felt it. I mean, it almost, I thought the man really died. You know what I mean? It was so
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I watched. I'm like, I just started thinking like, where's the dad? I'm like, oh no, and like my because
If you
believe
remember,
it or not,
they're
yeah.
they're having a party because they're getting out of the ghetto. Dad's got a great job, and just as the episode ends, mom gets a telegram. We're sorry to inform you, your husband James Evans has been killed in a car accident, and then it fades to black, and you have to tune into the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, and I thought John Amos, I mean, he really brought a lot to that show, and
Yeah,
I missed him on the show.
yeah. It
You
was a
know,
different. It was really a different show, but he didn't get along with the producers and directors, and so they
yeah,
were the ones in control, and that's what sometimes happens.
yeah, it happens all the time. That stuff really does.
And it said that the film over since it came out in 1986 is become a very one of those films very loved and very much appreciated. It says that the film people like you said related to it because people could relate to kind of like Cameron's character had this fear of growing up and what was coming next.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I can really, yeah, I can understand that. You know, like it really gets to me when when he's talking about his dad in that garage, and he kind of punches his chest. I never say anything. It's just like he's really. His dad seems like a really mean person. Is not understanding to his son.
and Ferris throughout the film is always kind of pushing Cameron kind of to do whatever he's got to do, to kind of
Yeah,
be successful. And it's interesting because even though Ferris has his girlfriend tag along, most of the movie is more about the relationship between the two guys than Ferris and the girl. She just, I guess, kind of tagging along.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she done a good part though. She played like this playful girlfriend. Like when they were in the cab and the father was like right next to him in the other cab, and she was flirting with him and stuff. I just like, oh my god,
Yeah, perfect mate for Ferris Bueller. You could see that they were, and then there's one point in the movie where again Ferris kind of breaks that fourth wall and he's talking about you know, we're getting ready to graduate from high school, and you better watch what's going on in your life because life passes you by really fast.
life moves pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And that's a famous quote right there. If you don't stop once in a while, you could miss it. That's probably one of my favorite lines in that
yeah,
movie.
yeah. And the parade, the reason it's so iconic is like sometimes I'll go see a movie like that, and they have a scene like that, and like I remember seeing the movie first time, twist and shout. I start singing along the song like a lot of people in the theater, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I found out, oh, hey, that's a Beatles tune. And then
Yeah.
uh, um, and then people will go seek out music just because they heard it in a movie.
Yes. Absolutely happens all the time. Yeah, and it had a good soundtrack. It moved the movie along and a good beat.
Yeah, and it's funny because the three kids pretty much carried the film. I mean, you had the back characters in the background, like the principal, and then even another thing that's noteworthy about Ferris Bueller is very early on in his career. This one of the first films Charlie Sheen would appear in, and
Yeah, he
and
had
it's
a good scene in that.
police station, and he's kind of this why he's kind of high on something and waiting in the police station and is flirting with Ferris's sister. She gets taken in for ditching school or whatever. Uh-huh.
I love his very first line. The whole thing looks drugs.
Yeah.
That's your first line. It's so
And,
good.
it's funny because that was one of his first movie roles ever, and
Yeah.
how true life sometimes is to real life, or a film role. I mean, if
Mhm.
you look at how he ended up, doing all the drugs and everything.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that, Charlie.
I mean, maybe John Hughes saw something, and it's interesting because again, John Hughes tragically, I don't remember how old he was but he was like I think in his late 50s, early 60s, and
Mm.
yet a lot of his films centered around teenagers. So maybe
Yeah.
that is what he had a certain passion for, talking about teenage lives.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing about John Hughes. Like, when you get past Halloween, you're going into November. If you notice, there's a lot of John Hughes movies playing, like Ferris Bueller, Uncle Buck, Home Alone. I mean, it's just like he knew about
And
family-oriented
a lot can
movies.
sometimes, especially Home Alone, get played a lot around the Christmas holiday times. And I love what I loved about Home Alone too is okay, the first film was just a classic, and the second one was equally as funny. But by the third one, when they have a new kid, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
how,
it
how,
just
how are we going to have these two same guys breaking into the same house? I mean, you got to kind of
I
beat
mean,
him a little. You know?
yeah, it's just like, okay, you really got to move along because, he's just going to beat you again, And, it lost the magic of
Yeah.
1 and 2. It really did. And, if you don't have that same formula, it's just not going to work,
So Ben, before we wrap it up today, I had a lot of fun doing this, and we'll definitely have you back on our show here. But you want to give us an update on Midas Cove or anything else you're
Yeah.
working on?
Yeah. But the pilots are almost done. And, been, talking to my good friend Tom, and
Yeah.
me and him just moving things along. Things are looking pretty good.
Yeah,
It's all I can say.
you recorded the episode with Tom, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. He was sharing, but he's been in that, and
Yeah, I got to bring him back. Actually, he's got some more scenes.
and then he told me too that you appeared on some cooking show that he's involved with.
Yeah, Donna. Yeah, we've shot a few scenes that actually we're gonna go back, and she's like working on menus, and like she's incredibly busy with catering and everything. We're gonna lock down a date, but I'll tell you what, her cooking is amazing. I almost wish you could come on set with me and try her cooking.
We'll have to arrange that sometime, but because I work
Yes,
today, but when I get a vacation, I'll see if we can't do that. But
yeah.
anything else you're working on, Ben? Any future movie projects?
Well, I have in the writing phases a domestic violence called "I Will Be Heard." It's based off one of my actresses in Miles Cove. She's got a very great story. It's based on true events. Is all I can say about it. And also, I'm working on a really cool one with Tom Collier's in. It's called Our Family Dinner,
Oh, okay.
and it's going to be like a suspense thriller, but it's going to have a little bit of comedy. But I
And
mean,
I encourage people to check out Ben Hicks and his Facebook page and everything he's involved with. And what I love about you, Ben, is you're super supportive of all your friends. Like anytime we post anything on our sites, you share it, and we notice that, we appreciate it, and that's why we have you come on and do this because you try to help out your friends, and you surround
yes,
yourself with super talented people. Like uh,
yes,
one of the
you
people
have
you
to.
turned me on that I've had on here with you, that Sarah Jane, and she's a super talented actress. So I encourage
Oh
people.
yeah. I wish I could tell you the scene in her done recently. Very powerful. I mean, I got nothing but great things to say about Sarah. She's an amazing actress. Right.
Is this for Midas Cove or something else?
Yeah, no, Midas Cove. Me and her had like my character, her character kind of went at one another, and I tell you what, we went off script a little bit, and we just started just anyway. They just kept recording. We kept going. They're like, oh my god, it's like I'm
Well,
like
Ben,
after they yelled cut, we looked at each other
yeah.
like, oh my god, I need a breather.
Oh, well. Ben, before we wrap up today's episode, do you have a target date where you think it might go to the streaming services?
Midas Cove. Yeah, well, me and Tom, we're working on that one. That one is yeah, I'm not allowed to say nothing.
Okay, I'll
I
take my
really want
time.
to, but I have the pilots almost. So we're getting ready to shoot at Lake Studios and to wrap up a lot of the scenes.
Okay.
But
Well, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to say it's going to be sometime in the new year. And when that happens, I would like you, maybe Tom and Sarah Jane, or whoever else you want to bring on the show to come and talk about Midas Cove. And we're going to be a big supporter once it's ready to happen.
yeah, I'm going to bring the main ones that made it all possible.
And if it takes more than one episode, do that. We'd be more than happy to do that.
Absolutely, I
Take care.
appreciate you.
Take care, Ben. And this is going to go up next Thursday. Okay.
All right, see you soon.
Hey, bye bye.
Bye.